Good afternoon, I'm Susan McCoy. Thanks for tuning in to Dear Sybersue. Today I have a question from Lisa. My partner continually disrespects my boundaries. Dear Sybersue, my partner and I have been together for 5 years. We both honored each other's boundaries until last year when everything changed. My partner has become continually controlling. He gaslights me and spins any conversation or disagreement that we have to suit him. He has to be right and he shuts me out and walks out of the room. Why is he disrespecting me in this way? It is becoming a very big problem between us. Thank you, Lisa. Changes in a relationship are inevitable. This happens regardless of how many years you've been together, but obviously it's going to be more so as the years go by. We don't evolve together all the time as a couple, and sometimes one of us changes and the other one doesn't. Some of us can become more insecure as time goes by. Maybe our partner's doing better than we are, and so that makes us uncomfortable, it intimidates us, and it shuts us down a little bit. Now that could be something that's going on in your case, Lisa, but you have to understand that if you're going to try and fix something that's going on in your relationship, you have to know where it's stemming from. I don't know how many conversations you've had about this, but this needs to be addressed because you need to understand what the bottom line here is. What has changed? Everything was great for 4 years and the last year, now things are different. Did any big changes happen in the last year in your relationship or in your husband's life? Did his job change? Were there money issues? Was there a reduce in salary? Did you bring children into your marriage? Has there been any kind of upset that happened within a family situation? Knowing where everything stems from is so important because that's the only way you can move on from a situation that isn't serving you. If you're not communicating about the changes that are transpiring in your partnership, there's no way to fix it. If your husband has shut down and is not talking to you about this, that is something that needs to be addressed because he can't expect you to understand where he's coming from if he's not letting you know what's going on. Something has definitely shifted between you, and he's losing respect either for himself or something towards you. Sometimes when we're not happy with who we are, we take it out on our loved ones. Whatever has changed within his own life, he needs to be transparent with you about this. Because it's not fair on you to just have to accept this change and this disrespectful comments coming from him because you've never had to deal with this before. You've respected each other's boundaries. You're still respecting his, but he's changed course here. So he needs to come clean with what's going on because otherwise your relationship is not going to be able to be fixed. Because the more angry he gets or disrespectful he gets towards your boundaries, the more you're going to start getting pissed off too. And then there's no resolving the issue because you're both mad at each other. He could be trying to gain control because maybe something's going on in your life that's really good and it makes him feel less than. This can happen sometimes in relationships when one person's doing better than the other. And what's transpiring here is he's trying to control something. He's feeling insecure about something. It also could be something that you're doing and that you're not aware of. Maybe you are criticizing him a little bit, or maybe you're disrespecting some of his boundaries without realizing yourself. This is why it's so important to sit down and have a conversation when you're not in a bad emotional state of mind. You want to say, hey, come on, can we just talk about this and be gentle with each other and be honest about what's going on. Sometimes when we get into an argument, we attack each other. So we don't get to the nitty-gritty of what's going on because we're too mad at that time. You have to be willing to sit down and want to make this work without being defensive or reactive. But you can't necessarily always do this by yourself. If it's something really big where it's changed this much in your relationship, it often needs outside help. And I would put that down as something that you want to see from him if your relationship is going to continue. because you can't have it go on this way and be treated in this manner. You know that enough about yourself that he's being disrespectful to you. And the fact that he's gaslighting everything, that just does not work well long term in any relationship. Because eventually you will be so turned off from his behavior that you'll start to go in the opposite direction. And this can become very irreparable. Boundaries are set in place in a relationship so that you don't disrespect each other. You're choosing to have some respect for yourself by having these boundaries in place. And when they're crossed like this, it's very disheartening and it makes you feel undervalued. And so this is where it's becoming a problem, because it's not only disrespectful, it's quite mean and controlling how this is taking over your life now. Because it's your concern on an everyday basis, because it's happening regularly. So if you try all these situations and your husband continues to cross the line in this disrespectful manner, you might have to change course on what you want to do going forward, because you want to be in a loving, nurturing relationship with somebody who has your back and who loves you unconditionally. You don't want to have to defend yourself regularly because you're being disrespected. Your boundaries need to be honored for your relationship to continue in a healthy place. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everybody. Please subscribe to Dear Sybersue here. Please leave your comments and click like on the video. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.